Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing my September wrap up. I did not finish a ton of books in September, but I loved everything that I finished. I think there's only one that I was sort of like mid about. Everything else is fantastic. So I'm super excited to talk to you about them. The first one on this list is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. I love Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter does a fantastic job with her characters and her stories, and they're just so real, and she does a great job with that coming of age story. And so Nothing Like the Movies is the like not the prequel, the companion to Better Than the Movies, where we are following Liz and Wes. I'm pretty sure their names. And the first one, we're getting like their friendship and their love story. They do it's the fake boyfriend trope in that one. And then in this one, it is second chance because he broke up with her. Like, we don't like see that. It's like that's the before. And so he broke up with her, and now they're both in college at the same college, and they're having to interact with each other. She does media for baseball, or mostly all the sports, but for the baseball team specifically. And he is playing baseball for this college. And so he's such an up and comer baseball player, and he's got a great comeback story. So everyone's kind of like hyped about him. And she's having to cover him. And so they're thrown together quite a bit. And she hates him. It's been a couple of years since they broke up, but she hates him. And she wants nothing to do with him. She doesn't want to talk to him. And he is trying his hardest to become friends again in order to like win her back. Like, he wants her back. Like, he knows that he messed up, and he knows that he didn't do the right thing, and so he's trying to get her back. And it was so much fun. I love their banter together. I love that you can see that they're more mature, and they still have the pieces of like who they were in the first book. A lot of times when you get that like companion novel, that continuation, that's not a series, they're not the same characters. Like, they're very different, and I hate that. But they felt like a more mature version of themselves, like who they were growing into. So that's fantastic. I love their characters. I love their interactions. I love their friends. I love how they interacted with their friends. All of their interactions felt very real to the situation and to who they are as people. I love how Lynn Painter unraveled everything that Wes did to Liz, because it doesn't come right out and tell you everything. You kind of get the pieces of their past like interwoven into the story, and I loved how we got to like unravel that. It was a really good touch, rather than it all being like chronological order where we got all the pieces and then we kind of like rooted for him the whole time. We kind of got to understand why she was so mad at him and kind of feel that with her, and then experience like, oh, we could probably forgive him, sort of thing. I did want to see more shenanigans. I don't feel like there was enough shenanigans. The premise alluded to him doing a lot of um those big gestures that they do in the romance movies. I don't feel like he did as many as like the cover kind of like alluded to, so that was a bit disappointing. But other than that, it was a fantastic read. I definitely recommend Lynn Painter. She does a lot of like the young adult coming of age stories, but they don't feel childish, which is huge. So if you're worried about that at all, don't have to worry about that with Lynn Painter. The other book that I finished was Before They Are Hanged. This is book 2 in the first Law trilogy. This one is where the story actually gets started. The first one, we're following a gang of people, and they're not even like together in the first one. They're kind of just like scattered, living their lives. And the first one is basically just getting to know them and who they are, what their goals are, and then bringing them together in order to get to book 2. So, book 1, the entire purpose is to get to book 2, is like to build to that. So, this one we actually get to see the Logan and his team like interacting with each other, and him trying to be a friend and trying to build trust and relationships. And it's such an interesting dynamic because he's such a barbarian, right? Like, He's always described in other people's perspectives as a barbarian and how he's bumbling and he's an idiot and all these things and he's not classy. And yet, he is the first one to try and like build a friendship in order to make the team work. And he's the first one to try and create trust and extend an olive branch. And it's fantastic. Like, I love his interactions with everybody so much because he's not as stupid as they think. And he's okay with that. He is okay with them thinking that he's stupid, he doesn't know anything, and he's useless. He's just like, I'm just gonna chill. But when things happen, I'm gonna get stuff done. And so that's just kind of how he is. Glockta is most everyone's favorite, but I really love Logan. But we're following Glockta as he is just trying to keep the city afloat and not let it get overtaken by this siege that's happening. He's also trying to figure out like the undercurrents of everything, all the political intrigue and stuff. Like, he's dealing with a lot of that. We're following West as he is like dealing with the war and having to deal with this incompetent prince. Like, this prince is stupid. And so he makes decisions that West doesn't agree with, but because he's the prince, West has to go with it and it ends up turning terrible. So we're following West and his aftermath of all of those things. Who else are we following? We're following Giselle and Pharaoh, but they're in with Logan's group and they're on a quest to find something that they have no idea what they're looking for. They're just following a wizard, you know? So there's a whole lot of stuff happening in this book, but there's also like not a whole lot of stuff happening in this book. It's very character driven. So if you need something that is more like plot heavy, this is not it. Okay. The first one is definitely not plot driven. This one's a little bit more plot driven, but is definitely not like fast paced, hop in action movie kind of sort of thing. So you really have to like get through it and you really have to love the characters. So if you really don't love the characters after the first one, I definitely would not recommend coming into the second. This one was my favorite the first time I read these. And I don't remember anything about the third book, so I'm really interested to see, will this still be my favorite of this set of trilogies? Um of this first set of the trilogies. It is not my overall favorite. My overall favorite is the heroes. I love the heroes. The heroes is my favorite. But this is probably, I don't know. I have to figure that out. But definitely still love it. The parts that I remember that I was really looking forward to, still loved them so much. But yeah, the third book I finished was Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. I don't know if you can see the dust on it, but it's definitely dusty. Throwing dust all over me. Um, this one is super short. This one, we're following this kid, and him and his friends decided to play a prank on this girl that they know at the movie theater. So basically, they snuck in this mannequin into the movie theater. They dressed him up, pretended he was a regular person, and then the movie staff came in and caught him and all these things. But now the mannequin is alive and it is killing people. And Sawyer, it was his mannequin, and he is having to kind of get out in front of the mannequin that's killing people. And so he decides that in order to protect the most people, he's going to have to kill his friends. And so we're following Sawyer as he is trying to figure out the best course of action and trying to figure out how he can best be a hero in this situation. Um, I really liked the narrative style. It was just fine. Like, I don't know. It was fine. I did know like the twist and everything of everything. Because I watched someone else's vlog on it. But I don't know that that made a difference in my enjoyment because I don't know that I would have really liked it either way. I mean, it's very mid. It was fine. Now, a book that I did thoroughly enjoy was Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. This one we are following Amber Reynolds, and we are getting her story from right now, which is her in a coma after this accident she was in that she doesn't remember. We're getting like a couple of weeks before the accident, and then we're also getting these diary entries from childhood. And it was so good. Alice Feeney is fantastic. I loved this story. I loved the unraveling of who did it, who attempted to kill her, how did the accident happen, who can we trust, who do we not trust. Did Amber do this to herself? Did her sister, did her fiance, or not her fiance, her husband, did someone else? Like, what was the lead up to all of this? And so she's trying to remember throughout the whole thing, and we're trying to figure it out. And I loved how Alice Feeney wrote this because everything was interwoven so well that you were so invested in this story. Like, you're getting stories from childhood and you're learning about, like, their upbringing, and you're learning about how their parents interacted with them, and you're learning about their friends at school and how those interaction situations impacted the future. And you're kind of getting all this lead up to everything. And there are so many connections and so many pieces. Like, it was mind blowing, all of the things that Alice Feeney fit into the story. Like, it was twist after twist after twist. And it was tough keeping up. There was a twist about halfway through that I'm just like, oh my gosh, that just undoes everything that I've known up to this point. And I had to like review the whole story from a different perspective because everything changed. And it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the idea of the unreliable narrators. I got tricked. I absolutely did not see these twists coming, and it was so good. Fantastic. Alice Feeney does a fantastic job. The author definitely kept us in the dark, like on purpose. Like, there would be moments where Amber would be like, "Oh, I remember what happened." And then that would be it. Like, we wouldn't get like the conclusion of like what happened, or, "Oh, I know who that is." Well, who is it? You got to tell us. And so we would be deliberately kept in the dark in those moments so that way the mystery could like unfold at a later time, which I thought was really cool. And I know that that method can get really annoying of like, "Oh, I'm just not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you this either." But I think that Alice Feeney handled it super, super well. And then I also finished Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And let me tell you, it was fantastic. It was so twisty. Like, I did not see any of the twists coming, and you would think that by now I would be catching on to Alice Feeney, but I am not. Okay, she got me again. But this one was twistier. Like, I feel like there were a lot more twists in this one, and it was a little bit more difficult to keep up with, but I got it. I figured it out. I didn't like this one as much as I liked the other one, but it was still fantastic. I loved the twist. Like, give me a good twist, and I'm fantastic. Like, I'm having a great time. I definitely didn't like the characters in this one like I did in the others, and I think because of the fact that like you go into this knowing that they have ulterior motives. Like, you know that they're lying to each other and keeping stuff from each other, and you know something's going to go down. And I think that's probably why. It's because like you're a married couple, and yet you're hiding a bunch of stuff from your significant other, and you're like so miserable in your marriage that you don't want to work on it. Okay, so I definitely did not like them as much as I've liked other characters. The mystery was so good though; it kept me guessing the entire time. Like, the entire time, I kept guessing. And so Alice Feeney is definitely an author that I will continue to read more from because I'm having a great time. I think that is book 3 or 4 that I've read from her this year, and I've just loved them. So definitely going to keep reading from her. What books did you read in September? Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.